Hey everyone, this is Lucid. Welcome back to another episode with Middle-Aged Ulm. It is turn 18, and we are fully committed to a war with Scaleria now. And fortunately we have an ally, and a neighbor, Jotunhiem. So let's see how it goes. We have quite a few battles you can see this turn. We got another 5 gems from Bandar Log, so... and Astral Pearls are actually going to be nice for us, because what this is going to allow us to do is once we get... And I didn't request these were just the ones he wanted to pay for him. He could have paid me in any gem. But this is going to allow me to do Arcane Probing with my first Astral Random Smith to hopefully get my Astral Economy going. So that's actually really nice to have a few pearls in the bank. Sometimes you get them from events, because I took luck scales, but sometimes you don't. So, here we go. Got our first battle. We are attacking Scaleria's fort. And he chose not to defend. This is only PD. And this is a fair amount of PD. This is probably 15 PD. It's probably not going to trigger any gem use on my part. Let's see if we've... Yeah, my guys are not using gems. Okay, and our archers are going to work on their slingers, which is kind of cool. Our heavy cav is going in on the flanks. They're getting a little tied up here, so this part, you can see, is not really ideal, but it's fine. There goes Earthmeld, holding these guys in place while we smack them, and you can see their defense becomes quite horrible. They have to do a strength check to break out, and that strength check is kind of hard for human troops to pass. I mean, they'll get out eventually, but usually not in one turn. Okay, we've had some friendly fire on Earthmeld there. Whoops. So, that was the first battle, and we probably took a couple losses. Oh, no losses. So that's nice. And there goes his PD. This might have actually been a little more than 15. This might have been 20. And... okay, so that was that. Then Scaleria attacks us. This was... Okay, so this is where we thought they would attack us, with a small little army designed so that if we lost the battle on their capital, then this would cut off our retreat route. So this was a smart little raid, but sometimes if it's such a smart little raid, then it's easy to predict, and then we come in and we murder his commander, and then that's how the battle goes. So that was very good. That's one raiding party down. And not only did we get the Long Dead and some human troops, which cost gold, but we got the Cultist, and that's, 3 undead for forever that we've killed now. And we got a battle here where we're attacking Scaleria. Now, he could have moved a ton of dudes in, but that would have been very unpredictable. Or very unlikely from my perspective. And yeah, we should be able to take these. So these are Ichthids, which is kind of cool. We can use these later to get into the water if we want to. Because Ichthids are pretty solid little troops. Like, these ones especially. They have armor, so if we did Legions of Steel on them, which I'm pretty sure you can cast underwater, it would make them pretty respectable. Pretty respectable little troops. Jotunhiem is attacking. Oh, so I think this is us, actually. Yeah, he ran into us. These are his little wolf raiders, which are very cute. But they can pillage, and they're stealthy, and they have 2 attacks. They're pretty good against PD. They're not super cheap, if I recall. I don't remember how much gold they cost, but... they're not going to do anything to our heavy infantry. So, you can see we're not doing excellent coordination. Like, we're not talking that much. So, we talk a little bit, but, yeah. He probably should have told me he was going to raid on my side. Okay, so our first good event, like, legit good event. We get some gold, and we get an ice lance, and a few gems, so that's really nice. And we discover a scout, so that's okay. Or no. Our scout was discovered, but he retreated. And holy shit, let's take a look at this. So we it's actually kind of lucky our scout got discovered, because he was totally waiting for our main army. Just look at that. It's even got a gam herding in here. Look at that. I mean, that is scary. That would have murdered my main army. Like, just murdered him. I mean, it would have been a brutal violation of our main army. All those undead, all those Rotarius. That is scary. Okay, now if I had sent my main army in, which, believe me, I thought about, they would have been just annihilated. Now, a lot of these Rotarius would be gone, because they would have been the ones that killed me, and they would be gone, but he can replace those pretty quickly. And then these Hestatus and all these guys would probably live, so he would still have a big portion of them left. I mean, this would have been a disaster. And you can see he's got them in a sparse line, and probably on attack rear. So these guys, because they're on a sparse line and attack rear, they're going to wipe out really far on the flanks and then close in. Whew, that's scary. Okay, so we dodged a bullet there. So that's that. But anyway, it's looking good, because we've got 2 of his provinces. We've got this under siege. We almost broke it. This is a 250 strength fort, and we have 253 siege strength. So if we brought a little more, you know, maybe even if we just brought these guys, it would have been enough, but then we would have lost this province. So if we brought a little more, we could one turn pop it, and he was not prepared to defend it. So, yeah, anyway, that's a bit unfortunate. If I figured it better, I might have been able to have planned it where we were able to one turn pop it, because we're probably really close. I bet he has like 10 fortification defense left. So, I mean, just taking these guys would have definitely done it. Or probably done it. But we would have lost this. So, and this is a high income province, so it's probably worth keeping. So now we are in a bit of a pickle, and this is going to be a pretty interesting turn. We did all the events. Okay, I'm sending an outquill to Bandar Log, so that's it for diplomacy. So, now there's a few things. I'm talking now with Jotunheim, and what I know is that he has a big force here. Is that what I know? Yeah, he's got a big force here. So Scaleria does not want me to take this. So Scaleria is going to probably have 2 moves. Either he moves his big force here, or he moves his big force here. Now, because Jotunheim has a big force here, and Jotunheim has told me he's going to check this, it's likely... I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. So, Jotunheim's going to check this. Now, Scaleria's either going to move here or here. The nice thing about him moving his Doomstack on this province would be that he takes a high-income province back from me, and he'll get control of it. The bad thing about taking it is that potentially I could consolidate all my forces there, and we could have a big battle. And the other bad thing is Jotunheim will put this fort under check, which he probably doesn't want. So, I'm not sure which one. Scaleria's either going to move here or here, and Jotunheim has a middling army here, but not big enough to kill this. And I told him that, hey, if you move it here, be careful, these guys can attack. So that's a risk he's willing to take. He's going to move these guys in there. Then, for me, if he moves like a middling force here, I want to kill it. And in fact, if he moves everybody there, I think I have a decent shot at winning. And if I don't win, I'll at least do a ton of damage. So, what I'm going to do is, instead of sitting on this fort, because I know either way he moves, he's going to have a Doomstack next to me, ready to kill me before I can storm it. So next turn I'm not going to be able to storm it, because either way there will be a Doomstack here or here. So staying on this fort is not a good option for me. So I'm going to take this guy with the gems back, because we have Summon Earth Power. I'm also getting this Priestsmith out of dodge because he can get stolen with Apostasy. We're also bringing... I made a Thug, too, which... Sorry, my dog is going crazy. So, I've got this Thug I made. We're basically going to be bringing everybody here. Because if I'm going to have to deal with it... If Scaleria is going to bully me with the Doomstack, then I can't really take anything else. Because he's got forts. Or I'll have to do some kind of fancy move. So I'm going to do a big Doomstack here. There's a few good things that could happen from it. One is, if we fight, we're going to be fighting with my PD. Versus here, where I'd fight with really nothing in addition. And so the PD will kind of be filling in right up here, and then I'll have a big freaking army with a lot of mage support, a lot of priest support to deal with the undead. And I'm willing to fight him. It's going to suck, because I'm going to take a lot of losses, but I think I would win this fight. And, I mean, the formation's not too fancy. I've got 2 lines of infantry. I've got a fair amount of arbalists. Not arbalists, are sappers now. And then a fair amount of priests and mastersmiths. So, the only thing that's kind of interesting here that is new is I have this guy as a thug. So Black Lords with 2 bracers of protection. With 2 bracers of protection and a Mace of Eruption. They are pretty decent thugs. They've got 27 protection, but this will jump up to high 30s, or maybe like even 40 when I do Legions of Steel. Or we can do the math. It'll be plus 9. So it'll be 36 protection with Legions of Steel. So he'll be mostly immune to damage or physical damage. And then with this, he'll be kind of killy. So he's going to be in the front, and he'll kind of just run into combat. But that's a spot where I can kind of guarantee that he will get buffed up with Legions of Steel. So that's nice. The other nice thing about moving here, so not only might I run into his Doomstack, which on one hand I don't want to do, I would kind of rather Jotunheim kill it, but part of this is I'm going to actually have to do work. You know, I mean, yeah, it would be nice in every single war if your ally did all the heavy lifting for you and you just got the rewards, but that's... Especially with... I don't think Jotunheim has a great matchup versus these guys with his Sacreds. Yeah, so... I think I do talk with him, and let me find out what my smiths are doing. Okay, we're making more hammers... Okay, I'm not forging anything interesting yet. I think I talk with him next turn, but that'll probably be in the next episode. Because we come up with a plan for him, but... Anyway, so the other nice thing about moving here is once he sees my big army here, either we'll fight him because he moves here, or he's going to move his army here. If he moves his army here, and he sees a big army here, then he's going to be forced to defend his cap again. So he's going to have to move everything back to his cap. But then, this army will now be big enough that I'll one-turn pop this fort. So while he's patrolling his cap the next turn, I can come back down here, and I'll be able to take this without him taking it. So that's kind of going to be a ninja move. So, I think once you have a decent understanding of Dominions, it starts becoming more like chess, where you can start thinking a few moves ahead. But anyway, that's what we're doing here. And yeah, we're bringing everybody in. Like, we're bringing this guy in. We could go raid on top of this, but there's also a small chance that he thinks I'm going to raid him because, you know, I've been doing that kind of stuff. So there's a small chance that he takes a significant fraction and goes and patrols here. And I just don't want to take that risk because there's a lot of risks with not moving this guy here. Either he has a significant enough group patrolling this province to kill these, and then I'm down these raiders or these dudes. And then also, by not taking him here, these could be just the amount of troops that it takes to tip me over the edge to win this very, very hard fight coming up. So, if I were Scaleria, I think probably the move is to kill Jotunheim here, if he's indeed right about predicting Jotunheim's move. But then, yeah, I don't know. He's kind of going to be walking into some of my traps with that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. So, actually, you know, we have more time, so we'll go ahead and do the next episode, or next turn. What turn was that? 15? Are we on 16? Oh, we're like way ahead of that. 1 second. Yeah, we're on turn 19. I don't know why I thought 16. So, here we go. Okay, so there's a battle in Scaleria. I think I'm sending my scout to ping again, and this is only PD. So interestingly, I probably could have sent my mercs in to raid his capital, and I probably would have taken it on an attack rear command. So that would have been pretty epic, because they were in the province where they could have done it, but I didn't. And otherwise, there doesn't appear to be much. We're gonna have to look at the map to see what happened. We got some more gold, so that's nice, and then some of our infrastructure has been coming up. So this is now a level 3 fort. And we have this guy here to make it a citadel, a level 4 fort. You can get level 4 forts only with these Master Masons, which you can only recruit in your cap. This is a level 3 fort too, so we can upgrade this to a level 4 fort also, though I'm not sure if I want to. I probably would rather upgrade this province next. And actually, you know, I have enough of these smiths in my capital that I don't really care about losing a bit of extra resources from this. And there's just so much gold in this province. I think I definitely want to do that. Let's take a look at what actually happened. Well, let's finish up. There are no events, okay. So, it appears that Jotunhiem has died. And not only has he died, but 4 huge game herding. So it appears he also made a donation to Scaleria. So, yeah, Jotunheim's clearly losing this conflict with Scaleria. So far, we've done okay. We've killed some of his raiders. It also appears we were smart to not attack here because I think he did split his troops and move some to patrol here, expecting I would raid. So I probably would have lost them if I went into attack. And instead I have more dudes here. And this is bigger than it was before. I mean, this is everybody I have. So he's probably even more worried, and I did ping his capital this turn too, so that indicates I'm going to attack him. So this is a very credible threat, and this is probably making 100 undead a turn, so he cannot afford to lose his cap. So what we will be doing instead is another switcheroo. One of my favorite maneuvers. We're going to be sending this guy back here in case we get pinged, because it's highly likely we get attacked here by this group, because he would want to cut off our retreat route if we attack his capital. So we're going to do the same thing again that we did before, where we send these guys in to catch him. We're also sending in a priest smith, and he will be doing Legions of Steel on the PD, which is quite formidable here, and then these troops. We're also going to be... I have a fair amount of dudes here, because I've gotten more mercenaries. I have the City Guard and the Quick Spears, which are new. And the Quick Spears are coming to help defend this province, and the City Guard are coming up here. And we have... I've been shuttling troops in from my cap and from these forts. And anyway, the troops that we've shuttled in, I think they're on this Barbarian Lord. And, yeah, so everybody's going to be coming up here, because I'm expecting he's going to raid this. So, we're protecting this from raiding, we're protecting this from raiding, and then my main force is going to come back down here. And I think this guy's coming down here too. Yeah, and we're leaving one preacher here to preach, because I don't have any other priests coming in to help deal with the undead. So, that is that. By doing this, we should one turn pop this. If he's a super Jedi, he will know that I'm not going to attack his cap, and he will instead move all of these guys down here to attack this. But what I can tell is that he's lost a lot of the Rotarius from that fight with Jotunheim. So I would actually beat this army if he moved it up here. He needs way more Rotarius to deal with this army than he has. So this is a very safe move, taking this. Now, if he kept his dudes here, which would be a very odd move, then he would be able to knock me off the next turn, especially if he moved all the Rotarius from there down to here. But then he would have to be okay with me knocking all the PD off his cap, which means I can keep pinging it to easily lock it down with very low commitment attacks without PD on top. So that is the plan. These guys, yeah, we're moving them up here. So that's basically it. Now, the other thing is, so Jotunheim has clearly gotten trounced, and so Jotunheim and I are talking, and we basically come up with the strategy for how he can deal with some of these Scalarian Doom stacks, and that has to do with his Scrotty. So Jotunheim gets these guys, who can shape change into a regenerating werewolf, and they can do... He has alteration researched, so he can do liquid body and quicken self. The quicken self he doesn't actually really need to do. But he can do liquid body, which is going to cut the damage in half. He also has access to astral, both through his Geiges and through his hags, who can be astral random. And with alteration research, they can do body ethereal. So they can do body ethereal on top of these Jotun Scrotty, which on top of liquid body, which is going to cut damage in half, and on top of very good regeneration with high base HP, because I think they have like 40 HP in their werewolf form, they get very hard to kill. So if we give him a lot of armor, which is where I come into this equation, then we can make it where that guy is literally invulnerable to these doom stacks. Now, I can't do this on my guys because A, I don't have easy enough access to body ethereal to do that. B, you need to have regeneration to take care of kind of the chip damage. And right now I don't have any nature gems or any gear to make regen or anything like that. So I don't have any way to do that part. Yeah. So given that, we're going to kind of combine our forces, and he's going to use his alteration research with his good thug chassis. I'm going to make him 2 braces of protection, a charcoal shield, a dragon helmet, we're casting augury. I think I'm making him something else. Okay, there we go, and a black steel full plate. And this one is the higher gem cost one, this one. But this will get him very, very high protection, high 30s. And high 30 protection plus ethereal plus charcoal shield, which is going to just kill everything that attacks him. Now he'll fatigue out, and that means he's going to be taking critical hits. So we definitely want as high a protection as we can, because it's going to get cut in half, I think, for crits. Sorry, I forget exactly how that works, but... Anyway, but we're just accepting that he's going to be fatigued out. But with body ethereal and that higher protection and liquid body, they won't be able to kill him. And so he'll be able to just kill an entire stack. So I'm making him this turn, I'm going to send him next turn, and he's supposed to get everything in order. And the idea is he's going to take that super combatant and just park it on top of Scalaria's capital, or run it into a likely province where his main army will be. And right now, Scalaria doesn't have any of the tools to deal with that, because it's not a sacred unit, so he can't apostasy it. He could potentially smite it, maybe, but I don't think so. I think he just doesn't have the tools to deal with it now. And if we lock down his capital with that, that'll go a long way to helping us win the war. So that's that. We got another... good event, gold and unrest down, and yeah, infrastructure going up. We're upgrading this to a fortress. We have a lab, we're starting to make units out of it. One thing we notice is Abyssia's kind of got a little group of dudes on Jotunheim's border, and it's kind of become clear in Diplo that people want to attack Jotunheim. Like Abyssia does, and so does Phalegra, who's down here beneath Jotunheim. And we're trying desperately to get Jotunheim not attacked. Like, it's me and Bandarlog who are kind of lobbying people to not attack Jotunheim until he kills Scalaria. Because I know I'm going to lose 1v1 to Scalaria, or there's a really good chance. And if Scalaria beats either me or Jotunheim or both of us, then I think everybody's just going to lose. So I think we're kind of slowly talking people into just... There's another thing, too, which is Jotunheim has a big army floating around. And so if you're going to attack Jotunheim, ideally you let him spin that big army on Scalaria, and then you attack him. Well, hopefully Jotunheim kills Scalaria with that army, and then he can use that army to defend himself, but with how deadly Scaleria is, there's a good chance that army will be weakened. But maybe not, if we use this super combatant strategy. So anyway, but that's kind of what we've been telling people, is like, let Jotunheim... Like, you don't want to fight Scaleria. If you conquer Jotunheim, this is going to be your neighbor, except they're going to be big and nasty by the time you get to them. So, like, let us finish our thing. So that is that. And I think that's it for this episode. So, we've got some sneaky stuff. Hopefully we catch some counter raiders, and hopefully we get a nice little check move on him here, where he moves everybody to defend his cap, but we sneak over here, and we take his fort. And with that, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.